everybody. Welcome into Talking Fitchburg on this snow-covered Tuesday, January 26, 2021. Yeah, mark it in history. An all-day snowstorm. It's a lot of snow. But for all you snowmobile fans out there, get ready to ride. And all of you sledders out there, get ready to ride. I don't know. Or just getting out there and playing in the snow. It's exciting times as getting hit here with some snow. And those numbers went up. I mean, we were looking at, a 2 to 5 event, and that storm decided, hey, we're going to go a little bit more north, and we're getting socked in within snow. So hopefully you got to work or wherever you were going today nice and safely, and hopefully you'll stay safe through the rest of the winter time when these types of storms come in. It's just it's the nightmare, if you will. And we had some cancellations. We were supposed to do gymnastics tonight. That was canceled, along with the school district canceling classes for the day because of the snow. A lot of things canceled for the day. But hey, it's Wisconsin. We'll just pick up right where we left off, push that snow away, and say, bring on some more. Which probably is in the forecast, but I don't want to look just right now. We'll save that for another time. As we get into the show today, we'll get you updated on the latest headlines coming in here. So we'll check in with the Badger Prairie Needs Network. We interviewed them earlier in the month as one of our longtime friends is retiring, and a new manager or director of operations there is going to be taking over, and we're going to break that down. 2-part interview in case you missed it. I wanted to re-show that to you so you can meet, say goodbye to Marcia and welcome in their new director, and we'll share that with you coming up. But first, we do turn to the headlines, and we talked a little bit about this morning, but I want to remind you, you only have a couple days left here to sign up for that virtual daddy-daughter dance. Yeah, this thing usually fills up like super fast, so if you haven't already, you need to get signed up. Yeah, you have till February 1st, by the way, to get signed up for this all virtual event. And yeah, they'll be providing some things to get the party started with a take-home party kit. It's pretty cool. I'm signed up to do this with my daughter. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're excited. So if you haven't signed up for it, get signed up. It's pretty cheap, and it's going to be pretty fun. Just saying. All right. Other news, we've got the city administrator recruitment survey out there. I want to remind you that survey is out in preparation for the upcoming recruitment and selection process of the mayor. And Common Council is asking for input from Fitchburg residents, city staff, and community leaders, along with business leaders as well, regarding the traits, characteristics, and skills they feel are most important in selecting the next city administrator. That recruitment process will be opening up in February. So make sure you get that survey done so we can kind of get an idea of what the city's looking for in the next city administrator. City of Fitchburg Healthy Neighborhoods Grant Program is now accepting applications. The City of Fitchburg is pleased to announce that starting on January 19th, the application period is open for the 2021 Healthy Neighborhoods Grant Program, and that's open through February 22nd. All interested nonprofit organizations that meet the program eligibility requirements are encouraged to apply. Head to the website, Fitchburg.gov. You can check out everything you need to know about the application process, and there were some changes to the 2020 program, so make sure you check that out when you do sign up for that. So great program there. Public information meeting for the intersection improvements of County Highway MM and McCoy Road are coming up. This meeting is going to be held on the 28th at 6:30 p.m. to discuss improvements to the intersection of County Highway MM and McCoy Road. Online attendance is encouraged, or the council chambers will be available for in-person participation in this public information meeting. Go to the website, Fitchburg.gov, to get signed up virtually if you'd like to speak at the meeting. Certainly, if you just want to watch the meeting, you'll just tune into Fact TV like you always do. We'll be broadcasting that live on our Gov channel, F3. All right, make sure snow is cleared away from those exhaust vents around the home. A good reminder here, especially with the snow building up and the drifts and everything else. This picture does justice here. This is from our friends at Dane County, Madison Dane County Public Health. There's some shoveling that can't wait until the snow stops. Make sure Snow is cleared away from exhaust vents around your home to keep carbon monoxide from backing up. Another good reason to make sure your carbon monoxide alarms are working as well. Learn more ways that you can prevent CO poisoning at departmentofhealth.wisconsin.gov /air and /CO for more information. Yeah, good information there, and something you do need to think about as we've had some snow buildup now, and this snowstorm, the way the winds have been blowing, as Andrew and I were talking, there are some big drifts out there. I've got a couple that, like, as I'm looking around the house here on both windows, it's over the, it's like halfway up the window on the one. So good time to check that out. Also, another good thing to check out, sticking with air quality, is radon. It's Radon Awareness Week. Yeah, you can't see it, you can't smell it, and you can't taste radon gas, but it can cause serious health problems. Radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the U.S. Take these steps to measure and reduce radon levels in your home. Get a radon testing kit. Test your home. Send the kit to be analyzed and fix your home if radon levels are high. You want to learn more information about that, you can go to the CDC's website. Wisconsin has a whole great review of this that you can check out, and kind of even showing you data to where it is. And it's in Dane County. It's really actually a strong, what's the word I'm looking for here? There's just high numbers of that in Dane County. So definitely something you do want to get checked out if you haven't done so already. I've done a test kit, super easy. You put it out for a couple of days, then you send it in and you get the data back. It's just finding a reputable company. And there are certainly recommendations from CDC and Wisconsin Department of Health. All right, that does it for our headlines. Coming up next, we have a two-parter for you. We're going to introduce you to the new director of the Badger Prairie Needs Network and say goodbye to a longtime friend of the show next right here on Talking Fitchburg.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps.
Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
It takes all of us to slow the spread of the coronavirus. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and stay home unless absolutely necessary. Use a delivery service for essential items like food and medicine. If you must make essential trips, stay 6 feet apart from other people. Wear a cloth face covering and wash your hands for at least 20 seconds as often as possible. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Join me today from the Badger Prairie Needs Network. You'll recognize her, one of our favorites. We've got Marcia here today, you familiar face, and we also have a new face to Badger Prairie Needs Network. And we'll introduce Maggie here in just a moment. Marcia, we have some bitter, sweet, sad, happy news to report, and I want you to break it to our viewers.
The bittersweet for you, happy news for me, is that I retired on December 31st as executive director of the Badger Prairie Needs Network.
I just can't believe you're leaving. We just got to know you like in the last few years here, and now you're heading out. Congratulations on that. We are so happy for you, and you definitely are going to be missed. You've done some great work over the years, and we want to talk a little bit about that today too. But we also want to introduce you to the new executive director. And in fact, before we get rolling here, so we don't leave Maggie hanging out in space, Marcia, introduce us to your replacement.
I am so thrilled to introduce everybody watching today to Maggie Gleason. Maggie was previously, and actually still is, our food pantry coordinator at Badger Prairie Needs Network. And she held that position for over a year. And she did some amazing things as our food pantry coordinator, including improving the nutritional value of the food that we distributed to the thousands of people that came to us for help. Maggie recently completed her degree in, I always get it wrong, but it's something to do with health and wellness. She'll clarify. And she has an amazing vision going forward to not just deal with hunger issues, but with wellness issues. And so that's the next step for BPNN. It made perfect sense for Maggie to step into my shoes. I'm so thrilled that she's willing to do it. And as with all of us, Maggie's a volunteer. So she will be our next volunteer executive director.
That's incredible. Maggie, welcome to Talking Fitchburg, and I apologize for my kids. You have kids too, so you certainly understand this. Maggie, as we hear you've been with the Badger Prairie Needs Network, what do you think taking on this new role?
Well, thank you for having me. I think that this new role is going to be a really big challenge, but I'm really excited to step into it. Marcia, my major's health and wellness management.
Thank you.
And like she said, yeah, what I would love to bring to Badger Prairie Needs Network is a focus not just on feeding our community, but also helping them kind of create a more well-rounded wellness approach here at the pantry. So that's going to be my focus moving forward eventually.
No worries. And Maggie, we're gonna hold off here for a second. We'll ask you a couple more questions. Marcia, as you exit this role, there was some challenges here in 2020, and certainly I do want to ask you a couple of questions of all the years. But as you look back at 2020 and Badger Prairie Needs Network, kind of give us a synopsis of what happened in 2020 for BPNN.
I think 2020 showed that Badger Prairie Needs Network and all of the volunteers and the community are incredibly resilient. It was a tough year, and many people in our communities were suffering and still continue to suffer from food insecurity and the anxiety of an economic catastrophe, really. But what we found was that we were here, we were dug into the community, our programs were strong and well run. We had been using technology very effectively, and we had a leadership team of which Maggie was an integral part that stepped up and rose to the challenge. And while we lost 75% of our volunteer workforce because they needed to isolate, the 25% that was still able to volunteer stepped up in ways we never could have imagined. And so when we look at just the numbers of households and the numbers of individuals that we served, and we look at what we did to increase our capacity from a facilities perspective, and then we look at the amount of community support that came in to help us with the work, I'm just amazed by it all. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just so grateful to have been part of it.
Absolutely. Maggie, can you tell us some of the numbers, because they are just blow my mind on when it comes to the amount of food you were able to distribute, the households that you're serving, individual children. Can you give us some of those numbers?
Yeah, sure. So we actually were able to put out just over 900,000 pounds of food just from our food pantry side. which is a huge amount of food. I can't remember how much it was up percentage wise from last year, but it's definitely bigger. We served, I think, 24,000 individuals this year, which was up dramatically from last year. And I think our increase of new households alone was up about 500%. I mean, it was just astronomical how many more new families we saw come to seek our services.
Yeah, and those are just a crazy amount of numbers, and I know we're not comparing it for before this, but that is amazing, and truly having this right in our backyard is just amazing.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine. But I need that back. No. Kevin!
Gaining weight was easy. All I had to do was sit down and eat. Losing weight's a lot harder. I have to work at it every day. But with every step, I lower my risk for type 2 diabetes and heart disease. And that makes every step, every choice, every day very much worth the effort.
Learn how you can help stop diabetes by losing weight, eating healthy, and staying active. Visit checkupamerica.org or call 1-800-DIABETES.
You could be spreading the coronavirus without realizing you have it. So follow guidance from authorities where you live and do your part. It's important to limit in-person interaction with anyone outside of your immediate household, but phone and video chat are safe ways to connect. It's also important to limit any social gathering. This advice applies to people of any age, including teens and younger adults. Visit Coronavirus.gov for the latest information.
And Marcia, all the years that you've been there and seen this grown, for people who don't know the story, tell us a little bit about the beginning and how you got to, or where we are today with this great facility.
35 years ago, what was called the Verona Food Pantry started in a closet at Salem United Church of Christ in Verona. And in the first year, about 75 families were knocking on the door for help. And one of the ladies who had been working on that project, Debbie Bass from Park Printing family, she moved it to the loading dock at Park Printing because they ran out of room in the closet. And it existed there for several years, more than several years, I guess. And then the city council, of which my husband Bob was on at the time, passed, I don't know if it's a law, but they made it possible for us to go to the basement of the old public library because Park Printing needed their loading dock. We stayed in the public library basement for a long time. And it wasn't really an appropriate place to be distributing food. It lacked restrooms, had no air handling, no natural sunlight. There was a little mold in the elevator. Well, so about 7 years ago, we started raising money and got Dane County to lease us the old administrative building at Badger Prairie Health Complex. And we moved there about 6 years ago. This year we celebrate our 35th year of serving the community. And when we moved to the Badger Prairie Complex, we changed our name to Badger Prairie Needs Network. We added a number of programs, including a great food recovery project to reduce food waste called Kitchen to Table. We started a free community meal on Saturdays that served thousands of people every year, mostly senior citizens. We expanded the size of the food pantry to serve more and more. And in the last 3 years, we've expanded the service area 3 times. And today we serve all of Dane County. That was driven by COVID, but the board of directors has approved us continuing to serve all of Dane County even after the pandemic ends. So today, as Maggie said, we're serving over 24,000 individuals, over 6,000 households. we're recovering hundreds of thousands of pounds of perfectly good food that would have ended up in a landfill. And we're running an amazing meal program, at least we were until COVID, that was really putting a lot of wonderful, delicious gourmet food from mostly Epic into the hands of mostly our senior citizens. So it's just been an amazing process and amazing growth of a community grassroots organization. And this year in December, we peaked a new record of how many volunteers helping us. 1,100 individuals have volunteered at BPNN in the past 2 years.
That is just incredible. And the story, I love the story. And to look back, at least in the last 5 years, and seeing what has happened with the expansions, with the services, with the community involvement, Marcia, it seems to me, I mean, at the end of the day, you're walking out on such an amazing project that's come together, and you've got to watch it grow. How do you feel as you leave today and start that next journey?
I feel very grateful to have been part of it, and super proud of the community. Really, it is truly grassroots. The community embraced what we were trying to do. And this business model of all volunteer for one of the busiest pantries in Dane County, it does not exist anywhere else. No other pantry doing the volume that we're doing is an all volunteer organization. And everybody always says to us, it can't be done. But it has been done. And now Maggie takes it the next step as a volunteer executive director. And it's just so overwhelmingly, I don't know, wonderful. It really is a wonderful community.
Absolutely, and you've done amazing work in all of anybody who's ever been involved with the organization from the bottom up. It has just been amazing. And Maggie, as you take on the role and you move into this, and where do you how do you take what is set up here and take those next step forwards? I know you mentioned a little bit about it, but you've got something special here.
Oh, definitely. It's a very special organization. It's really close to my heart. It feels like coming home every time I'm here. So I love to be here. And of course, it's a real honor to be able to step into Marcia's shoes. I think moving forward, our main goals in the next couple of years, at least, are going to be just to be able to welcome our guests back into our building at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later. One of the things that I really would love to see come back is that community meal, because I really think that's a pillar of our organization. It not only helps feed people, but it gives them an opportunity for some social interaction. It gives people the opportunity to come out and see other people that may not have a lot of outside interaction. So those are things that I'm looking forward to getting back really soon. And then once we kind of find our new normal at that point, I would like to implement some of these other health and wellness programming, maybe partner with some different organizations in the area that they could come out and utilize our space, and we can offer maybe some jobs programming and just some support to be able to address different aspects of the wellness, like different dimensions of wellness versus, just hunger is obviously a really important part of the physical wellness of individuals, but there's so much more that we can address, I think, here at Badger Prairie Needs Network.
Yeah, and whether it came because of COVID or not, to be able to serve all of Dane County, people are going to get to see exactly what we've been seeing for many years as a great organization for everything you all have been doing. Marcia, as we start to wrap up here, certainly folks are going to want to know where you're going to next, if it's just retirement and enjoyment, but what would be your final thoughts here, and any advice for Maggie as she moves forward?
My next step has already been taken. I'm sleeping in a little more. I am still on the board of directors at BPNN, and I will continue to serve out that term, which is about 2 more years. I'm going to be leading some of the fundraising still for the organization, which includes raising money for a new community room, something larger where people can safely gather. My husband and I moved in August to a different home, still in Verona, but I'd like to unpack some of those boxes. And I am so looking forward to some time with my grandchildren. Because our small group has been volunteering so frequently, I haven't been able to quarantine very much. And so it hasn't been terribly safe for me to spend a lot of time with them. So I'm really looking forward to seeing Maddie and Nolan a little more frequently. And for advice to Maggie, Maggie is such a super great person. I've told her this a million times, but she's got a great sense of humor. She's got a wonderful way with people. I would say, don't worry about what we did in the past. Do what's in your heart and what you think is right, and just be your wonderful self.
Thanks,
That is amazing advice. Maggie, any final thoughts here on direction or moving forward here? I know I've already asked you that, but just putting you on the spot here, day one,
No, that's okay. I think I just am the one thing that I'm really looking forward to the most is for all this to be over so that we can welcome all of our guests back in. That's the one thing that I miss probably the most, is being able to see our guests on a regular basis. When I was a food pantry coordinator, I was able to be in the pantry during shopping hours and see all those regular guests come through, and I got to know them and I got to hear their stories, and I just really wonder how they're doing, and I miss seeing people. So those are my first steps, hopefully soon.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations, Maggie. Looking forward to working with you. Marcia, congratulations on retirement. And I'm sure we'll cross paths down the road for sure. And again, just thank you to both of you and to everybody at Badger Prairie Needs Network for all the great work that you have done and that you will do coming up in the future. It's amazing what's happening there, and so glad that people will get to know it as you guys move forward.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right, that does it here. We're going to take a quick break. Again, you can check out the Badger Prairie Needs Network. Just head to bpnn.org to find out all about the great stuff happening there and get involved. Take a quick break. More to come. You're watching Talking Fitchburg.
After you joined our family, it was like, I really do feel complete now.
Our hearts are made stronger by how we treat others.
Put her there.
The light you share can impact those around you, but so can the darkness.
Later, twerps. Did Pete saying mean things bother you?
So when you reach out to another person, take a moment to consider how they will feel and let your heart be the key to making a difference. Because of you, someone's entire day, year, or even life can change.
In every heart, there's hope.
We're all just trying to keep things running for those who rely on us.
Ready!
That's why we don't have time to be sick with the flu. And especially this year, no one has time to get sick. Get a flu shot for yourself and those around you too.
See on page 4 that the projections need to be blood. Next Thursday?
Seriously? Thursday? Can't do that.
This is really inconvenient.
I have yoga that day. I have no time for this. So. I can't do Thursday, but I can do Friday.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Wrapping up the show for the day. I want to thank our friends over at Badger Prairie Needs Network. And we are going to continue to do great work with the folks over there. So stay tuned for that. As we wrap up here, remember, you can stay connected with Fact TV all day long. Have a great day, everybody. Stay safe out there.